telefoni, capito? È importantissimo che io non senta nulla, sì, che io non devo sentire nulla che viene da voi, altrimenti no. Ok.
Namaskar, all the dear sisters. Thank you for joining us. That was amazing to see all of you. Some familiar faces, some new faces. I would like to say something about today, what the service means to me in my life. So, when we read the philosophy, we know there is a 4 propensities in Muladhara Chakra. One is desire, kama. So desire, sometimes the first desire comes to our physical needs, which is like hungry, we are hungry, we want to eat food. So as there is 3 parts in our body. One is under navel, one is from navel to Vishuddha Chakra, one is Vishuddha to Agya Chakra. So 3 parts of the body needs a sentient diet for, to maintain our life in smooth. So when I was posted in Nepal, and as I was posted as a RSL, and I was the first RSL posted there. Before there was no RSL. So somehow I need to, start my base to travel. So, Nepal is not very rich country. So there was a lots of people who needs food. So we start feeding in Kathmandu. We start feeding around the one temple, Shiva temple. So that's really touched my heart when people, even they are, mentally very well, and they understand and these all things, but the earning food was hard for them. So when we were giving food to them, so it's really service to Paramapurusha, service to Brahma. When we take second lesson, so the first things to feed people with all the levels in their, of their body, it helps them to think, differently. Food is the main thing. So my I became passionate for that. I became like, yes, I need to do. I love the feeding program. I love the cooking, and I love to feed, to give them. It's really helping both sides. So as Baba mentioned, be great by your service, by your sacrifice, by your sadhana. So there is always something to catch and hold into that, and following your inner self, what you would like to do for the society, for your family, for your neighbor, for your surroundings. So I would like to stop doing that. So create that service project around your area. So also I would like to announce two upcoming events for sisters. One is LFT training, local full-time training, which I feel every sisters to give at least 6 months for Baba, to do something, some work for only for pure for a mission. So we are organizing LFT training in Poland, Didi's Master Unit, and starting from 8th of August to 8th of September. So, and first 2 weeks we are organizing as ideological training. So this training for 2 weeks is for you to learn some more philosophy and help them to develop the confidence to talk about the philosophy into your field. So 4 weeks will be the person who will dedicate their life for at least minimum 6 months to 1 year. So it will help for Didis working in the field, it will help the field to grow. So, and second events, it will be coming up in September, 16th to 18th of September. It's for all sisters. It's as we are meeting in online, and that will be a physical in Germany, in Madhukaruna. So we would like to request everybody, please, note it down, this diary in your note, so you can book a ticket, and we will be meeting in that 3 days sisters program. Sisters uplifting programs can be physical, mental, spiritual. All 3 days we will learn very, very different things what Baba has given us, and we haven't heard that yet. So you're most welcome to keep these 2 dates in your diary, please. LFT training and also Women's Conference physically in Germany at Madhukaruna. Thank you very much, and I will pass back to Didi Ananda Tapumaya. Thank you, Didi.
Namaskar. Thank you, Didi. Let's see what messages are there. Yeah, very nice. Very good. Rekha is there with us as well. The next we have 2 speakers, each of them with a very beautiful classes, and the first one will be Didi Ananda Ranjana. She is originally from Italy, and she has worked in many different parts of the world, recently in Central America, North and Central America, and now she's luckily here. We are so happy that she's here with us. Please go ahead. Just before that, let's see, yeah, somebody's asking about, Joshna is asking about if the retreat will be online. We'll look at it and we'll be in touch. So thank you. Didi Ananda Ranjana, please.
Namaskar. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes. Loud and clear.
I'm very happy. Namaskar to everybody. I'm very happy to be here for this occasion. We are all together. And so the subject of this workshop, of this lesson, how we want to call it, is the deep meaning of women awakening. I have a short PowerPoint that now I'm going to start sharing. Just give me a few seconds. Can you give me the confirm you can see it?
Yes, we can see it, Didi, perfectly. Very nice.
Okay. Great, thank you. Okay, so the deep meaning of women awakening. So looking at the word awakening, the first thing that is coming in my mind is something is sleeping and then is waking up. And then I ask myself, so from which kind of sleep is waking up? That is for me an important question. From which kind of sleep is waking up. In fact, the first awakening, the first kind of awakening I would like to talk is the tantric awakening. The tantric awakening. And related to this, Baba said that in the moment of initiation, two very special things are happening to every person is initiated. So the first thing is that the Kundalini awake, means the sound of the personal mantra. So the Kundalini is sleeping at the bottom of the spinal cord. And the sound of the mantra strike the Kundalini. A Kundalini is awaking. That is a very important process, because once it's awake, through the spiritual practice and all the things Baba taught us, the Kundalini then is raising, and in the end, at a certain point, we can realize who we truly are, infinite consciousness. So this is one thing. And then Baba said, there is another thing that is happening. And this is in a beautiful story. I read this, where Baba says, the story is about the 7 tests of Guru. And Baba specified that at the moment of initiation, when we take the oaths, and then there is the offering to the Guru, Baba specified that the disciple is taking the hand of Guru, a Guru is taking the hand of the disciple. So a very stable kind of relation starts, or maybe was there from before, probably, and this is lasting until the very end. Practically, Guru is taking responsibility of our own spiritual progress. And that is very important for every disciple, for every person, because through the life, we can really feel how Baba presence, more and more in my personal life. In the very, very beginning, when I started, I had a certain relation with Baba and then I start to change, and then I start to realize how Baba doesn't miss anything of my life. Every fraction of a second is there. And so Baba really takes responsibility for our own spiritual progress. So this was about the tantric awakening. Then, in a more general sense, awakening means what? Awakening from the sleep of the mind, from this dream, the dream of the mind, is especially awakening from identification with the mind, all its contents, all our beliefs, opinion, complexes, so much stuff is in their mind, fears, this and that. So when we identify all the time with our mind, we are caught in this. So we act in the world according to all these limitations, beliefs, etc. So awakening from the sleep of the mind means gradually we learn how not to identify. Okay, we have the mind, it's a tool, but we don't identify with it, with all the limitation. And so gradually, we can realize who we truly are, infinite consciousness, having this experience in this world. And we can say also, in other words, that the women on this planet, also the men, but we are talking about the women now. So the women on this planet need to awake. It's very important, this awakening, awake and free ourselves from the mental complexes, from this lack of confidence that was imposed on us, fears, dogmas, and express the full potential. All of us, we're born in this planet, in this life, and the education is very limited. We learn so many limiting things. We learn how to focus on outside world and not inside, and so on and so on. So we need to break free from all these chains, from all these limitations. Baba is very, very clear on that. So in this way, we can help society. No, we can do our good part in freeing the society, help the society to progress. Next comes, in which kind of society are we living? I will not spend many words on this because we are living in this world that we know. There are so beautiful, nice things in this world, but there is also the opposite. Baba speaks very clear about there is a war between darkness and light. I heard that he said that there will be an intensified polarization between the two. More will grow one, more will grow the others. And I feel we are very much in the center of it. There is a war between light and darkness. You can see so much awakening in this world. You can see so more and more people coming to spirituality, more and more beautiful things, and you can see coming out all the worst crime possible are there. So this polarization is there, and we should not fear it. It is there because all the worst has to come out, because it has to be cleansed. The society is starting in the deep, is starting transforming. It's clear that we are in a patriarchal society. There is no doubt. I think nobody has a doubt about it. So one of the limitations of this society is the disparity between women and men. There is no balance between the masculine and the feminine. We have the masculine and feminine side. The society is more based on ego and masculine characteristic. Go for it, achieve this, achieve that. The feminine have been, as Baba say, have been suppressed, dominated, controlled. As Baba say, the society has to be balanced. It's like a bird with two wings. If one wing is crippled, broken, this bird cannot fly. The society cannot progress fully. So each of us has to take care to balance his feminine and masculine side. The feminine is more receiving, accepting, nurturing. So the two sides, feminine and masculine, in each of us has to get balance, and also as expression also in the society. So there is disparity between how women and men are treated in this world. And this is one of the defects of society. The society is based very much on ego, on fighting, wars, and who is best, who is not, and so much. We know all. I'm not going to spend too many words on that. So much injustice, abuse, a crime against women as there are against other things, the black people, and so on and so on. Baba told many things about women's related subjects. And all these are collected in a book that is called The Awakening of Women. So I want to read some of this part that are there are so many things, but I chose just some part. Baba said, in many parts of the world, women are still under the yoke of exploitation. They have been rendered helpless by hundreds of years of imposed ignorance, superstition, and inferiority complexes. The opportunists who have taken advantage of women fail to realize that by paralyzing women's mind, the whole society becomes crippled. This is very clear. We spoke before about the example of the bird. Some more. because women are physically weaker than men, men treat women as their property. Women are the mothers of society, and therefore men have a duty to serve women. Men are greatly indebted to them. I think it's so clear, there is not much to comment on that. And here comes another part, still from Awakening of Women. Baba say, women have many shortcomings due to a lack of education. So also in other discourses, for example, in neo-humanist education or neo-humanism, Baba speaks of the importance of education. No? He says that there are many sentiments in this world, and the base for overcome this change, it passes to a different society based on consciousness, based on unconditional love and cooperation and so on. It's important to educate. Education is at the base of everything. We need to educate. So also regard the women, education is at the base of it, of this awakening. Baba tell more in details, say, to abolish dogma and liberate women from psychic exploitation, there should be free education for all women in all countries of the world. We are not there yet. We are not there yet. There are women in certain places or in certain conditions that they never receive education. And also us, that we are a more developed country, we cannot say that education really teach us to be spiritual being or teach us how to face life. I remember I went to all the different school, elementary school, and so on and so on and so on. I learned some basic things, sure, important, but most of the teaching, especially the one of the high school, they didn't help me to face life. They didn't help me in spirituality or other things. So the basic education also for the children, when we are children, is important for women and for everyone. Then the other point is no discrimination. So to abolish dogma, liberate women from psychic exploitation, there should be also no discrimination in the social, educational, and religious realms. So no social disparity, because I am a woman, I cannot get the same salary of a man, or many other disparity. Educational. In some country, some years ago, I remember, here in Italy also, my mother, she couldn't get, I remember she was always very upset about that, remembering she couldn't learn much in the school, only elementary school, because she was a woman, and only the men could learn, only her brother could learn. And also no discrimination about the religious realms. We know very well that, for example, in Christian religion, only men can be priests, not women. In our organization, fortunately, this is different. With Didis and others, they are by rule in the same level. Practically, it's a different thing, but on the we can perform marriages, we can do, yeah, we are equal in this contest. So the last one, to abolish dogma, liberate women from psychic exploitation, there should be the provision of economic and social security to all women. Because as we all know, when a woman and the children, so the children, the women don't have a certain economic capacity, they depend on the man. So that these have been used for exploitation. Yeah, I've seen this especially in the Arabic world, in the Muslim world. I've been working there many years. Yeah, the women, they stay at home taking care of their children, they depend exclusively economically from the husband, and they can do all kind of abuse, this and that. So Baba says economic also capacity should be there for women. So moving towards the conclusion, education, spiritual practice, help, etc., many other things, help us to realize who we really are. And this is the core of the awakening, the core of our emancipation, and do what we are born to do. Because what it means to realize who we really are, we are infinite consciousness. We are not this body, we are not this mind with all the limitations that are there, with the ego, etc. We are infinite consciousness. So when we remember who we are, it's a completely different perspective. In fact, if we are aware, we remember who we are, nobody can exploit us. Nobody can dominate us, control us in the name of any defective ideas, limiting beliefs, inferiority complex, dogmas. And we can realize anything in his name, remembering who we are. We have our second lesson that help us very much to realize that. So this is the core of emancipation, the core of awakening. We need to train through our life, through our day, moment by moment, to remember who we are. And I want to here say something that I like very much also from Baba. So women, we have an important role to play. That's very clear. Baba says, women are the vanguard of human society. Wonderful. And another thing that the first time I read this, I felt, my God, such a revolutionary thing. Baba says, show your worth and take your place. What it means? Show what you are capable of and do your job, take your place. Nobody, the men, they are not going to give it to us. We need to take it. Baba knows very well. This society has a certain momentum, it's a patriarchal society. Even if there is the recognition of something, nothing really real is done to correct the situation. So we need to show what we are capable of and take our place, not waiting that is given to us. We need to take it. This is Baba, these are Baba's words. So there is a lot to do. A lot have been already done. It's not with women didn't do anything. In the world, there is so many great women doing really fantastic work. Also in Ananda Marga, we have many Didis and sisters doing wonderful job. So much. There is no time to talk about all of this, but we know by experience. And so much is going on in each country where we are. We see what we are making a lot of effort to do. Anyhow, to go deep in this, who has to do this job really of this kind of revolution that is not killing people? Is first of all a mental revolution. It is us. This is a sentence I like very much, that I read in many different other group of women and people. Usually there is the tendency that we know there is something, the psychology of a human mind is this. Yes, I know there is something to be done, but somehow many times we don't have the confidence to start the process, to be the pioneers. We are thinking that somebody with more capacity there is going to come and do the job. But really speaking, we are the ones we are waiting for. This is a wonderful sentence I love. We are the ones we are waiting for. We are the pioneers. We are the one doing one of our job in this mission for Baba. We came here, each of us, we came here for doing a great mission. Each of us is doing it in his own special, specific way. And as a women, we have this great job to educate ourselves, to help others to educate and make this big, huge movement. Something is low. So it's important to educate ourselves and educate other women in all the way possible. This is done already, and more we need to come together and do this work. When we come together, this is my experience through all these years as a Marga, LFT, as Ácàryás. When women come together, only women come together, is creating a very special, strong vibration, very powerful. And when we are all together, we can feel everything is possible. Nothing is impossible. So every unit, Didi's sister, is very important to continue to do more and more. In some places, study circle for women, sister retreat, start a new project, continuing the project already are there, seminars, all kind of activity for women. It can be also for children. So already many things are happening. So let's come more and more together. Didi Maniga was talking about the LFT training. That's very important. Also about in-person conference is happening in September. So it's very important. We all of us, we have so much to do. We are very busy, but it's important that we try to make really some effort to do more and more. So we at our planet are undergoing a big change. We all know is very evident. And the future of this planet, Baba says, is very bright. So that we have no fear. The future, despite all chaos, the beautiful things that are happening, all mixed up, the future of this planet is very bright. Nobody can stop the progress of this planet, the progress of everyone. So everything is moving forward. And Baba says, the victory is ours. So nothing to fear. When we take his name, we do the job, everything will be done. We don't need to worry about. Just do it for the mission. Do it as a consciousness. And I finish here my presentation. And thank you so much to everyone for being here. I am also especially happy that this time many Italian sisters are present. So I'm to see many more people than last time from all different places. So it's really very good opportunity. Thank you very much.
I'm just
Namaskar.
Can I talk to you in a second, in a minute? Hold the line. Namaskar, Didi. Ananda Ranjana, thank you so much. Very inspiring, very powerful thoughts about sharing with us.
Thank you.
One way to ask any questions or any of your input, one way is to use the chat, the Telegram chat. Would be really nice if you can write there your input, your questions, or any ideas, and we can continue these conversations.
Okay.
Now the next one would be Ananda Sanjana's video, and hopefully then she can join us also. Join us here also on Zoom. So Didi Ananda Harimoya will upload the video. We'll look at that one. After Ananda Sanjana's presentation, we're going to have a song by Didi Jyoti. Ananda Harimoya, we cannot hear. There's no sound. We still cannot hear.
Boosting our immune system, but at the same time,
Can you not hear?
having a balanced
We can hear Ananda Sanjana.
mental state, our emotions,
Can you hear her?
and develop our spiritual being.
Yeah, it's very soft. Can you make
At
it
the
louder,
same
please?
time,
I
it
made the
builds this
highest.
courage, this moral
Okay,
courageousness
play then.
to the resilience in women
Can't hear it.
to face social problems that we are facing in this world right now, the discrimination, the whatever situation that may arise in different parts of the world. I mean, women do face different problems in different parts of the world. It's not confined to just the same problem. So he has considered all this and has given us a good list of practices for us to do. At the same time, his intention is also to empower us, empower the women, so the world, all the children, all the women, all the men, the entire society will progress in every aspect. Now, this is a definition of health by the World Health Organization. It's a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease and infirmity. Well, we know that for us, it has gone one step further, is to also ensure our spiritual well-being, not only our physical, mental, and social, but also our spiritual well-being. These are some of the things that Baba has given briefly. I will just, you can see, and later we can go through it again. We can go through it in more detail. Vegetarian diet, but it's special because it's not just simply vegetarian, but there's special category of food which is only not only healthy for the body, but also very not harmful for the mind. It's healthy for the mind. So this category is very useful to for us when we are practicing meditation in the spiritual path. Physical fitness and self-defense programs for women in our WWD Women's Welfare Department is divided into different category, different divisions, and this one of the divisions is also considering the wellness, the physical wellness of women, whether they promoting as girls sprouties or girls volunteers. So this is keeping a healthy physical body is important. It's very healthy to be strong and resilient. It's a very essential aspect to and to also not neglect our sports adventurous capacity abilities. Meditation is there. Lalita Mamika dance, Baba introduced, was invented by Parvati while was Shiva 7,000 years ago. It brings inner happiness and bliss, and it's very much practiced by us. It's not simply dancing with the mantra, but it really develops that our awareness, our consciousness, our subtleness, and develop that strong devotion for the Supreme. Yoga asanas is very special. Rajadiraj system of asanas or Ashtanga Yoga system of asanas was introduced started by Ashtavakra, Rajadiraj Yoga, and linking the system of biopsychology, body affecting the mind, mind affecting the body. And let's look at it a little bit deeper. Koshiki dance. Koshiki dance is very special. I will touch on it right now before I go further. Koshiki dance was invented in 1978. It's not, it's especially for women, to develop our mental stamina and fearlessness. It helps to overcome many diseases. It's a panacea for 22 different diseases. It keeps the body youthful, and also facilitates an easy delivery in childbirth. And that's the key point. You must practice koshiki. Koshiki, it's really, for me, it's a panacea, it's a Panadol. You reach out for koshiki all the time because it's amazing. And we'll go through that a little bit more. Although it's for women, but men can do it. It's also very useful for children, especially boys, when they still have that sentimental mentality mind before they reach that transformation into adulthood. It's very useful for boys. It's actually a very good practice for grievances you face when you have liver, with your liver. So it's really helps to overcome conditions of areas of Manipur chakra as well. Mostly this dance is a lot, it caters a lot to our mental conditions, emotions like hopelessness, depression, and anxiousness. This later on you find out why Baba has given this dance for women, because of our, we have so much emotions to express, and that is why the Koshiki dance is very useful for that. I'm going to go through that. This is one of the things, the sentimentality Keishi characteristic. Now, how did he base his, what did he consider when he's giving all these practices? One of the very obvious characteristic is our sentimentality in women, Keishi. This can be harnessed to good use, and if so, we can overcome, the entire society can progress with when we harness our potentialities in the right way. Here I've listed women's sentimentality, some causes of hysteria. If I have time, I go through it. Hardworking women are always willing to work extra hard for their loved ones and family. Sentimentality and psycho-spiritual realm is very useful. Women, when we harness this characteristic properly, we can progress very much, because in the spiritual sphere, because we are able to channelize this love for the Supreme, because we have so much of this expression that when properly channelized, we are able to pursue in the spiritual path. Now let me go through a little bit of this Keishi characteristic. What it means expression of your maybe anger, maybe shame, maybe hatred, compassion, love, affection, repulsion, attraction, kind of to an extreme degree. And that's why people cry out in their extreme joy. They cannot keep their happiness confined to their nerves. They have to express it. Even if they hate someone, they cannot. Even if they hate someone, for example, and if they do not express it openly, they cannot keep it suppressed. They have to express it. So this tendency varies, of course. Okay, from women to women, from humanity to humanity, from all kind of classes. So this expression of the sentimentality is called Keishi. And it's so strong, it's so powerful that you can cross the ocean if you're goaded by this propensity. And that's what Baba said, if only you understand this women's psychology, society can utilize our potential to the fullest. So we need to realize this psychology of women and how to harness this in the right way. And that's why if it's harnessed properly, we can pursue very much in the spiritual realm. We can love the Supreme as much as, with no limits, because that this sentimentality can be harnessed. You can learn to love everyone, you develop the universal love. You can love the entire world, not only your own children. You're able to use our capacity to the fullest. And we can do a lot of good work. Now, another thing, Baba mentioned also the equality in the psycho-spiritual realm. There is no difference between men and women. We're all the same. We will get equal liberation as the men. So there's no difference in the higher sphere, in the spiritual sphere. Although there are some differences in the lower glands, and no, that's why another aspect that Baba considered is also the biopsychology of the body. Now he spoke a lot about mind and body, the relationship with the mind and body, and how the body affects the mind and mind affects the body. So with this also, he's the Ashtabakra was the one who started this before 2000 years ago, I think, and now Baba has reintroduced this again. Now, how does the body and mind communicate? Two ways: nervous system via the nerves in the spine, and hormones, endocrine system, the chemical route. Now, I'm not going through that. And another thing, in the nervous system, one of the things that has been discovered is recently this concept of brain plasticity, that the shape of our brain maps changes depending upon what we do over the course of our lives. And then this is what they call it brain plasticity. Universally now, they believe that plasticity is a normal phenomenon, and the brain maps are constantly changing with experience. So neuronal structure can be altered by learning and experience. So the brain grows in stimulating environment. Okay, visualization also improves performance. Close attention is essential for long-term plastic change in the brain, and that's why meditation, which Baba is prescribing to everyone, involves what? Visualization and close attention. And hence, they are powerful tools to develop the brain. So we have brain, okay, we have meditation. Now, these are the hormones. We don't have time to go through it. The chakras are there. The chakras are related. The controlling point of the nucleus of the chakra is situated in the spine, where the Ira Pingala Nadi is, and where the nadis intersects, and prana, the life force, flows through these nadis, and the relationship between chakras and koshas, and very close. They relate to each other. Chakras are the expression of the propensities, the different emotions, and you can develop the mind. Let me just go through this. How the chakras, the koshas control the chakras. We don't have much time to go through it, but I want to cover other things. Asanas, if you perform regularly, can control the glands and the organs, and that's why we're doing asanas in this way. That's why our asanas are different, slightly different. What is the emphasis on our asanas that we do? Asanas are very important. How do we do it? The compression and releasing of certain plexus, certain chakras, will allow the changes in secretion to balance the secretion of the hormones in that area in which are connected to the glands in that area. Repeating the asanas are different ways to do it, repeating it together with inhalation, suspension or exhalation, exhalation or inhalation. So you are inhale, retain, or exhale, suspend. So in this way, we are also repeating. They have breath moves spine, moves the limb. So the repeating of the asanas, or we could have asanas where we are staying in the yin form, where we are staying for a long time, or asanas where we repeat, where we stay longer than 30 seconds, or and repeating it, and poses where we stay stressing our muscles, stressing our tendons, ligaments, joints. They are also very useful in stressing, in building that strength and resilience in us. It gives us that flexibility and mobility. The asanas are giving that flexibility and mobility to the body. Plus, there is ideation in the asanas. So they are not just in the not just moving in a fast way, not a physical aerobics kind of exercise, but they will give you some kind of sweat when you do the asanas, and that's why the practice of massage is also included in the asanas in order to enhance the benefits of the practice of asanas. So that's the specialty of Rajajiraj asanas. It's meant for us to rectify on the imbalances in the glandular, neural, or immune system to clear the way, to prepare one for meditation. The other practices are also very useful, like I mentioned, diet and all that. So for us to go towards this Paramatman, supreme consciousness. They have profound effects on the glands and organs. You mentioned that. Now let's go to Koshiki. Koshiki, we have some little time to finish. Koshiki is very important. It's a special dance that you want to not do with the. I put here some photos with the colors of the sari and the green, which is a nice, pleasant color for the eyes, and that's the color of Koshiki. Koshiki comes from the word koshas, the koshas of the mind. See how this dance is not only physical, but it's mental and spiritual. It goes into 16 plus 2 steps, 18 altogether, and it moves continuous right, left, and it crosses, it touches the back of the other foot. So that cross-lateral movement has a lot of connection with the cognitive function, and that encourages these constant changes, constant movement, this rhythmic movement of the dance, and the bouncy rhythmic movement of the dance, plus the constant cross-lateral movement of the feet and the arms, going right, going left, and plus crossing the legs at the same time as you do that, plus the forward movement and crossing the legs, going back, also crossing the legs, stretching, stressing, not only stretching, but you're stressing. You're stressing the joints, stressing your spine, stressing your neck, your lumbar area, lower back, your hip, stressing your legs, your thighs, your arms. And you are also giving that flexibility to the system, improving the circulation, because your arms are always up, allowing the flow of the lymph to your upper extremities, blood, improving the circulation, because you don't have this automatic heartbeat like blood has. Lymph circulation depends on your effort. Strengthening your breathing capacity, building the immunity of the body, at the same time chanting the universal mantra Baba, Nam, Kevalam, love is all there is. The supreme entity, the existence of the supreme consciousness is all there is. plus the ideation of speaking, merging into the Supreme as you accept, as you realize the presence of this consciousness in you. So not only it is a panacea for 20 different problems, it strengthens your mental capacity, your mental balance, but it connects the spirituality in us, the Supreme. It's all round. It's mainly to build this courage in women, to build that fearlessness in us. So we are successful in the society, we are successful at home, individually, collectively. We are very special people, and this practice is very important for us to keep ourselves healthy, young, and have enough energy to provide for all the needs of our friends, family and friends, and the society. So the health of women is a very important aspect for us to develop overall. Like I read somewhere, there is no non-working women. Women are always working for the well-being of the world, the well-being of the nearest and the furthest. So what is important is our health, so we could provide in every aspect. We could provide everyone in the proper way. But first, having the right mentality, psychology for women alike is important. So let us progress in every aspect. Let us use these practices so we can help each other, so ourselves, and be guided by the Supreme to lead the society ever progressive. Thank you very much.
So, Baba has given everything from at all for all ages. I didn't mention enough for women who are expecting, pre and postnatal. For during those times, we need a lot of help, and actually Baba has given all that in every aspect. I think, even to the ripe old age. So his love for us, it's so immense that there are such treasures. I find, if only we could understand deeper than what we have seen. I find that even now, as I practice them, I realize there are a lot of discoveries. It just come out here and there and realize how deep these practices are. So we should not be just shallow and thinking, oh, I've done this, oh, I know this. You do it without actually, without much feeling, because we have been doing this for some time, for some of us. But still, even after so many years of doing this, I find a lot more discoveries and a lot more research work can be done on our practices. So I hope that we can endeavor to find that in these practices that Baba has given us.
Nice. Thank you, Didi.
Thank you, Namaskar.
We have Didi Jyoti who's going to sing a bhajan, and we also have a little bit more music later on when Didi, when Josna shares with us Prabhat Sangeet. But let's go ahead with bhajan, Didi Jyoti, and then we have Didi Ananda Sheila talking about Kundalini and other tantric science issues, topics, which Didi Ananda Ranjana was touching earlier on a little bit. So I'm glad that we are glad that all these are knitting together. So Didi Jyoti, please.
Thank you for giving a preview of what's here to come. And can you see, I want to share my screen. This one about the song. Here is my song. Can you see it, Didi?
We cannot see it yet. Oh, now we see it. Yes, something is coming up.
It's a Neomanist song.
Yeah, we don't see it yet.
Now? No?
Not yet, yeah. We can see that you are sharing, but it is blank. And now we can see. Thank you so much.
Yes?
Great,
Okay.
fantastic.
Neo-humanist song to protect our devotion and our love for all and the one. All and the one. Love is raining all around, touching every field and town. In my mind, in my heart, love is all around. In my heart, in my soul, love is in everyone. Kavanamo Kevalam, Kavanamo Kevalam, Kavanam Kevalam, Kavanam Kevalam. Peace is raining all around, whispering a gentle sound. In my mind, in my heart, peace is all around. In my life, in my soul, peace be with everyone. Pavanamo Kevalam, Pavanamo Kevalam, Pavanamo Kevalam. Love is all around. In my life, in my soul, peace be with everyone.
Thank you, Didi Jyoti. That was wonderful. Very nice.
Namaskar, thank you.
Didi Ananda Dayashila is the next speaker. After that, we will hear Bava's story. Then we have Ravat Sangeet with Joshna. And then you have two sisters who are who have prepared to share their thoughts and experiences, and then we will end this conference. So Didi Ananda Sheila, please go ahead. Welcome.
Okay, namaskar to all Didis and sisters. So 7,000 years ago, Shiva systematized the science of mantra and kundalini. He called it Tantra. Tantra emphasizes the development of the human vigor by expanding the mind through meditation. It's an endeavor to overcome all fears and weaknesses. According to Tantra, the human structure is a microcosm of the macrocosmic universe. In the human body, the crown chakra, the seventh chakra, the Sahasrara chakra, is the seat of the supreme consciousness. The sixth chakra, Agya chakra, is the controlling seat of the unit mind. The fifth chakra, Vishuddha, is the controlling point of the ethereal factor. The fourth chakra, Anahata, is the controlling point of the aerial factor. The third chakra, Manipura chakra, is the controlling point of the luminous factor. The second chakra, Svadhisthana chakra, is the controlling point of the liquid factor. The first chakra, Muladhara, is the controlling point of the solid factor. The Muladhara chakra is the most static point in the body, representing the end point of creation, and the cosmic force is dormant in the form of the Kundalini, residing in the last point of the vertebral column. This is called the Kula. It means container. Here resides all the infinite potential energy of the universe. It's waiting to return to its state of union with the Supreme Consciousness. The Kundalini is lying quiet in the Muladhara chakra. Because of the mental bondages of the propensities located at the chakras, the spiritual journey is essentially the purification or the perfection of mind. The individual strives to remove the imperfections of the mind and body by practicing the asanas, having vegetarian diet, positive and moral thoughts, cosmic ideation, meditation, and service-mindedness. The Sushumna is the main energy channel that passes through the center of the spinal cord. It is the pathway for the ascent of the Kundalini. When the Sushumna is unblocked, the Kundalini can rise and pass through the chakras, and eventually the unit mind will be united with the Supreme Consciousness. The sleeping Kundalini can be awoken by a single stroke of a Siddha mantra. Now, a mantra is the collection of the sound waves which can produce a powerful vibration in the mind. The Sanskrit word mantra is composed of man, which means to think, and tra, which means to liberate. It is a sound vibration. When contemplated, it will liberate or free the mind from all bondages and limitations. A Siddha mantra is a mantra that has been infused with spiritual power by a true guru. A true guru can raise his own Kundalini and also the Kundalini of others. In the process of infusing a mantra with spiritual force, the guru raises his own Kundalini to the highest point, the Sahasrara chakra, and then repeats the mantra, giving it intense spiritual energy. He then lowers the Kundalini. When the guru infuses a mantra with spiritual energy, he vibrates the entire cosmic mind field with those sounds. Those spiritually infused sounds become Siddha mantras, and they resonate in the entire universe. The Siddha mantra is spoken directly from the teacher to the meditator. When it is given correctly in the process of initiation, the sound vibrations will actually strike the sleeping kundalini within the individual and awaken it. This is the first step on the path of liberation. Only a mantra received through the grace of Guru can give complete fulfillment and lead the spiritual aspirant towards perfection. From the time the mantra is given, and the more frequently and intensely the spiritual aspirant repeats it, the more the kundalini rises under its vibrational impact. But when the repetition stops, it again returns to slumber. If the mental repetition of the Siddha mantra continues all the time, day and night, the kundalini remains perpetually awakened. When the kundalini is sleeping in the individual remains in one of three states. So it can be a wakeful, dream, or the dreamless sleep. So only when the kundalini is awakened can the individual enter the fourth state, which is turiya, the state of non-duality. Without purity of mind, an individual cannot make the proper use of mantra. So the practices that enable purification of mind are the 10 moral principles of dharma and yama. That is why the Ácàryás always teach the spiritual aspirant dharma and yama at the beginning of the initiation process. Sri Sri Nandamurti also states in the Supreme Command that without dharma and yama, the sadhana is an impossibility. So there are three qualities of the mantra. So the first is pulsative. The personal mantra should have 2 syllables to flow rhythmically with the inhalation and exhalation. And this keeps the mind calm, poised, and can lead to a state of deep peace. The second quality is incantative. The personal mantra should suit the sanskaras of the individual. It must fit their individual vibration in order to properly link it up to the cosmic vibration. The individual rhythm is inseparably connected with the universal rhythm, and on the highest level, it's linked with every other entity of the universe as well. When an individual can maintain continual parallelism between his or her own rhythm and the cosmic rhythm, at that moment, their individual rhythm becomes vibrated with the vibration of the cosmic consciousness. So the most effective incantative rhythms are in Sanskrit language, which is the human body's eternal song. The careful combination of the Sanskrit letters in the mantras can vibrate these subtle subglands in a specific manner, affecting the glands and the mental propensities. The third quality of mantra is ideative. So the mantra is only effective if there's full ideation on the meaning. The meaning, as you know, is I am infinite, vast, like the ocean of consciousness. Idea is a subtle mental tendency, and practice leads to expansion. The curved wavelengths of the mind become straight in parallelism with the cosmic consciousness. So due to the constant repetition of the mantra, the kundalini is awakened. The gateways, the sensory, and motor organs to the external world are closed, and the conscious layer of mind merges in the subconscious layer of mind. The mind becomes more and more concentrated inward, and the Kundalini begins to rise. As the layers of the mind merge into the higher and more subtle layers of the Kundalini, as the higher and more subtle layers, the Kundalini passes through the chakras one by one, and at each stage, a different mental state is experienced. So there is a gap between the Agya chakra and Sarasara chakra. It's known as the Nira Lamba Puri. When the Kundalini rises above the Agya chakra, the Kundalini becomes supportless. The meditator loses all his or her willpower. And this is why the ascent of the Kundalini from Agya chakra to Sarasara chakra cannot be achieved by one's own effort. It can only be bestowed by the grace of the divine, the supreme help. The Sarasara chakra at the crown of the head is 1,000-petaled lotus. It is the center of the cosmic consciousness in the individual. When the cosmic energy of the Kundalini unites with the pure consciousness in the Sarasara chakra, the ultimate union is achieved, and this is the final goal of Tantra, the state of non-duality. So in simple words, what we have to do is return home from where we came. We've all come from the supreme entity, the nucleus of the universe. We have to return to the same destination. And the best way is through devotion. Cultivate devotion. Listen to Baba stories, tell Baba stories, sing kirtan collectively, individually, and constantly think about that supreme entity in all actions, in all thoughts, and ascribing Brahmahood to everything. To cultivate a feeling of love and welfare for the created world, serve humanity and all beings, and finally self-surrender, to offer one's mind to the supreme entity, to offer physical energy, psychic energy, and spiritual energy to that supreme entity. Namaskar.
Namaskar. Thank you, Didi. Didi Anandadaya Sheila. Didi Ananda Harimaya has a surprise for us.
Namaskar, everybody. Thank you very much. And I will just, before my Baba stories, to request you kindly have your videos open so that all of you come in the video. It would be very nice. Okay. You know, in the year 78, when Baba came out of jail, 1 month later, I went to India, to Patna. And I could not I could not bring my uniforms in the suitcase because at that time in the airport, they were checking everything. So I thought, if I bring my uniform in my suitcase, they will know I am from Ananda Marga and they will not let me in. At that time, there were problems, not nowadays, Baba's grace. So I arrived to the Jagriti dressed in civil cloth in Patna. It was so full of people, so full of people. And Baba was giving the talk. And I thought, Baba does not know that I am here. I have, you know, a long skirt and a scarf on my head, etc. So after 3 days, I could get one uniform that one Didi lent me. It was not it didn't look nice, but at least I was relaxed, you know, that I had a uniform. So we went to Baba's house. And at that time, they were, you know, bringing Baba in a wheelchair because still he was very weak from such a prolonged fasting. He fasted 5 years, 4 months, and 2 days. So he went to his field. They brought him to his field walk, and then he came into his house, and with the wheelchair, he was brought into the porch. And then suddenly, before starting to talk with all of us, Baba said, "You, indiscipline." So I turned my head like this to know to whom Baba is scolding. He said, and then he said, you, with his hand, you, it was me, my God, "You indiscipline. Why you came to the Jagriti without uniform?" Oh, and I thought, you know, I was thinking before Baba even does not know that I am here. But he's showing to me that, yes, he knew, even though there were so many people, he paid attention to that. "Why you came to the Jagriti without uniform?" And I was not answering. And the Baba was scolding me, and I was telling to him mentally, "Baba, I love you." I was so blissed out to know that he knew that I was there, even though there were so many people. So he insisted in his question, and I kept silent. So then finally, he asked to Dada Ramananda, and he said, why she came to the Jagriti without uniform?" Then Dada Ramananda is turning to me and speaking in a sweet way, "Why you came to the Jagriti without uniform?" And I was so blissed out, I could not even speak. I was feeling Baba is Paramapurusha. How can I speak, you know? And I was so blissed out, and that Baba noticed me. So then I finally could speak, and I told Baba, because you know, I was afraid that they will not let me in the airport. "Indiscipline," he continues calling me. "Indiscipline, I am a disciplined man," Baba said. And then anyway, after the darshan, everybody will tell me, "Oh, you know, Baba scolded you and this," but I was so happy, you cannot imagine. Nobody knew why I was so happy internally. It was the play of the Lord. Namaskar. Thank you.
Thank you, Didi. Very nice, very inspiring. Before we go ahead, I just want to say very, very nice to see people from all corners. There is Amrita from Helsinki, and Ancha from West London, and so many people. And also Sonali from, I presume, from the other side of the world. Namaskar, Sonali. Welcome. Jyotsna is going to share with us a Prabhat Sangeet.
Namaskar, everyone. I don't have a computer, so if you have your computers, if you could look up song number 4795. It's the Prout song, E Gantami Bay. And I'll just read out the meaning while you're looking that song up. I think it's sort of appropriate for what's happening in our world at the moment.
Can you tell the name again? Sorry, the number.
4795. 4795. Egan Tamibe. Thank you. So the translation is, the song that we sing will go on. The suffering for all will be gone. The path of light for all opens up. Proud is the path leading on. Suffering our lot again and again. Ordinary people can't tolerate the pain. The cry of demons rend the air so vain. Moralist battle is on. the suffering of all will be gone. On the eastern horizon, the sun's golden rays. No more those dark and endless days. The sun will chase the rain away. No more days of wait. One more day waiting is too long. The suffering for all will be gone. The song that we sing will go on. The suffering for all will be gone. The path of light for all opens up. Proud is the path leading on.
Thank you, Josna. Thank you so much. In the last conference, we asked if any sisters would like to join the conference this time and share their experiences and their understanding and their realizations of how the Ananda Marga lifestyle, everything that it contains, have helped them in their private lives, in their personal lives, in their work, etc. So we have two sisters today, and these are the younger ones. So it would be very inspiring to hear how the younger generation sees all that we are doing. And the first one would be Lakshmi from Georgia. I wonder if Didi Ananda Brahma would like to introduce her.
Namaskar. So nice to see everyone. Lakshmi I met in Armenia. I went to Armenia. Georgia's right next to Armenia, and I couldn't go to Georgia because it was a red zone. So she and a whole group traveled 5 hours by bus just to come and get initiation. So Lakshmi has lots of energy. She's young, she's dynamic, and we would be very happy to hear from her what she's thinking and feeling these days. Lakshmi, you there? From Georgia.
I can see her. I wonder if her connection is strong enough. Maybe Didi, if you give her a phone call, and we'll start with we'll go ahead with Sujata from Germany, who is the lefty in Berlin, situated in Berlin city itself. How about that, Didi? If you call her, if you call Lakshmi, and we go ahead with Sujata. Sujata, please go ahead.
Namaskar. So, first of all, I really want to thank the organizers for this women's conference. It's giving me so much inspiration and strength. And yes, that's really what I needed today. Thank you. And I'm really looking forward to meet you all in person then in September here in Germany. So today I want to share an experience with you that I had when I was traveling in South America. That was about 2 years before I met Ananda Marga. And so I was traveling in Peru at that time. And instead of going to Machu Picchu and Cusco, where everyone said you really have to go, but somehow I felt, no, this is so touristic and this is where everybody goes. I wonder if there is really this kind of deep and true experience that I would like to make here. So I decided to go another way, to go up north, also in the Andes. And then this one morning, I'm in the hostel alone, traveling alone, and I'm coming down to the entrance hall. And I see this mysterious man sitting on a little sofa. And then he is a little bit older than me and a little bit maybe bigger. And he has something that is very attracting. And this is some atmosphere, some vibration of, I don't know, love, wisdom. So besides all the differences that he maybe looks, elder and bigger, and he's a man alone, but besides all that, there was some very trustworthy vibration. So we started to conversate, and he knew so many things. He knew about history, politics, nature. And then we just, without really knowing what's happening, we spent 3 days together, traveling to different canyons and beautiful natural places and having deep conversations. And I just always was suppressing this voice in my head that said, this is really odd. You don't know, maybe you shouldn't be so trustworthy. But I was just suppressing it and going with the flow. And by the end of the meeting, he told me, you should, because actually I didn't plan to go back to Germany. I was just planning to go on traveling because I loved it so much. And the less money I had, the more interesting the travel got. So I didn't plan to go back, but he then told me, you should go back to Germany and study psychology. And somehow, because this was also crazy and unbelievable and so special, and at one point there was just tears coming down, and still I did not know what's happening. Somehow I knew he's speaking the truth, he's right. So then that's what I did. I went, stopped the traveling and went back to actually Berlin and started studying psychology. And just years later, I could understand the deeper meaning of this mysterious encounter. And this was when I heard a story from this beautiful book about Baba stories in Africa. Maybe some of you know this story. So this is now a little story in my story, just to make the whole point, because this helped me to understand my experience. So this story starts like this. There is a young Didi, and she is traveling in Africa, and she has to go from place A to place B, and the only train she can find is a night train. So she's jumping on the train, and every chapter, every wagon is full, and so she really doesn't know where to go. And the longer she's on that train, she feels, oh, this is a weird vibration here, like it's actually all men. And then she realizes it's a military train that she took. So there is only men a whole night, and this young Didi, and they are really looking not very trustworthy, and she feels very uncomfortable. And she's like, Baba, what are you doing? Like, which situation are you putting me? I don't know. What should I do? But she had to arrive the next morning, so she said, I have to stay. Then she enters one compartment, and there is this one also very scary looking guy, because he has a scarf through all his face, but something in his face looks more trustworthy than the other ones. So she is asking, is this seat still free? Next to him, and he's like, yes, come have a seat. And then in this person, she founds, actually, she's finding a wonderful friend. They are having very nice conversations. And when she's getting so tired, he says, yes, please have some rest, sleep. I will watch out for you. I will care for you. And something in his voice tells her he's right and she can trust him. But before she falls asleep, she really wants to express all her thanks. And so she's telling him, please, when you come to my city, you should definitely come visit me. I want to thank you, because without you, I wouldn't know if I would have survived this night on this train, or whatever awful things could have happened to me. So she says, please come to my apartment, and I will cook something for you. And first he seems like considering it and thinking, and then he says, yes, it's okay. I will come, and I will take your invitation. So she falls asleep, has some troublesome dreams, but when she wakes up, there is bright sunlight. She's alone in the compartment, so it seems that they all left. But she safely arrives where she had to. Then the next week, when she's back in her hometown, and it's the time that is arranged, She is very happy. This night she will meet this mysterious person again who saved her and who was so kind to her in a situation that seemed to be so terrible. So she's cooking all day. She's in a very blissful, happy mood, and she's making some special sweets that she learned from her mother. And then a little bit before the time, she's getting a little bit nervous, so she does some meditation. Then it's the time that she should arrive. 1 hour, nothing's happening. 2 hours, still nothing happening. And then she's getting a little bit like, oh, maybe something bad happened to him. I don't know, I should just sit and wait a little bit longer. But then 3 hours, 4 hours, and still no one's coming, and she's losing faith. And it's like, oh my God, like I was so much looking forward to see him again, to thank him. And then now, without saying anything, he's just not coming, and she's starting to feel really bad. She doesn't even want to eat herself. She's just waiting a little bit longer, and then she decides to what to do. So she's sitting in meditation. And then when she's sitting there, and when she's doing 6th lesson, Baba looks a little bit different than usually, because he has a big scarf in his face. And he says, yes, my little daughter, I have many different faces. And so I wanted to share this story with you. Yes, because even for us, maybe younger generation who have not had a chance to meet Baba personally, physically, it does not mean that we can never actually meet him. And yes, we just need to be very aware of what's happening, and think of him. And he hears our longings, and he actually, since he's Paramapurusha, he cannot do differently than listen to our most inner wish of our hearts. Thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you, Sujata. Very inspiring and touching. We are trying one more time to connect with Lakshmi from Georgia. Can you hear us, Lakshmi? We also, if Lakshmi cannot connect with us, could be that her internet is down. If there is anyone else who would like to briefly share with us, put your hand up if you would like to share. Sarada Devi is saying something, but I cannot hear. She's shaking her head.
No, my daughter is pushing me to say something, but some other time.
Oh, maybe your daughter can say something. Maybe she can
say
something to retreat. Go ahead. Is it go ahead. You can
she ran away, but she's coming back.
Yeah, she can be off camera too if she wants to.
Or she is not ashamed of camera.
She's not shy of camera, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, there she goes. Do you introduce yourself briefly?
Namaskar, I'm Shanti.
Did you ask if you want to say something about the retreat?
It was very inspiring.
So it was very inspiring. What was the best part for you?
I liked hearing about other people's experiences.
Yeah. Did you join any kirtans and any meditations and that part of the program?
No, but I could hear Joshna's kirtan playing from the other room.
Nice.
Was that the program we did? Okay, I think that was all from Shanti.
Thank you, Shanti. Thank you. You were brave. Be happy. Anyone else?
Thank you, Shanti.
I could tell a story if there's time.
Who is that?
Somebody.
Sonali.
Sonali wants to say something.
Sonali is calling from the other side of the world. Go ahead, Sonali.
Yes. So this happened 1 year ago. I was doing my sadhana very much, and something happened in my sadhana, and I became a little bit abnormal and blissful and many things. Then I have a father, and he took care of me through my whole upbringing, and we were very close. We would talk about everything. He would never scold me. He was very, very loving, and we had a very close relationship. And all our lives, he would say, "What are you going to do when I'm not here anymore? I'm not going to be here forever." So he would say this many, many years. And when I was young, I couldn't imagine it. I couldn't imagine my life without my father. Then when I got older, yeah, I got wiser and I was preparing my mind. And then in the midst of this experience from sadhana that I was trying to wrap my mind around, Baba's turned 100 years old. At least the first year he turned 100 years old, so we say. And Baba's birthday was going to be on the full moon of May, and in where I am in New York sector, it was 26th of May. But in Sweden, where I'm from, where my father lives, it was on the 27th of May. And suddenly I realized that my Lokik father is for the first time having birthday on the same day as Baba. And I mean, this you can understand from a spiritual mind, because I was so high and I'm thinking, what? Because there is this favorite Baba story I have from a sister Aditi. She's from South America and she lives in England. When she was a little girl, she used to play in a park, and there used to come a man, a very gentleman-like man, to come and talk with her and play a little bit with her. And later on in life, she became a Margi. She saw Baba's picture for the first time, and she was, "Oh, that was the man that used to come and play with me in the park when I was a little girl." So I love that story. You know, she told me that in person in Thailand one time, and then I also had read it maybe before or after. So I always felt that is my most favorite story, but I never got the chance to see Baba in physical person. But at this time when Baba had birthday, I experienced as if suddenly my mind goes, "Oh, maybe my Lokik father has been Baba my entire life." And it was more like a spiritual feeling. It was more like a message from Baba. And it was really sublime. I can't explain it in any other way than from the mind of a devotee. And I didn't dare to call him on his birthday, because I thought, I mean, such is the mind when you're feeling Baba inside and you're feeling him everywhere. And so I called him on the day after, and he told me 3 things. And it was just like Baba would have told, 3 things that Baba would have told his children, a child of his. And he said, wherever you are in the world, if you're feeling displaced or not feeling good, just look up at the sky or the stars and know that I am always with you. And then he said, remember when you were little? Oh, I love this one. He would go on a big lawnmower, and it makes very high sound and loud sound. And still I would come running with my arms stretched up like this and say, take me, my arms up wide, take me. And he would pick me up and put me on his lap. And no matter, even though the sound was so loud and he needed to keep cutting the grass, I sat on his lap and I would always fall asleep because I was so safe in his lap. And the third thing he said, keep my legacy, pass on my legacy. You do what I did. You take after me and you do what I did. And there was lots to follow this, but for me, it was a very special experience. I felt like it was not a coincidence. Also, 7 months later, my father passed away. So, and I felt like Baba. Instead, it was my Lokic father was taken, but he was taken to Baba, and instead, my Supreme Father is here. And it was like arranged. I felt like it was arranged. It was even my meditation, even the clash that made me start my meditation, even the intoxicating experience was his grace, and even the grace that my father's birthday was on the same day as Baba that year was his grace. And it's just this supreme plan of that cosmic mind. So, namaskar.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. And we will be in touch. I can see many people have joined the Telegram chat. And like we said earlier, please feel free to type in your suggestions, your feedback, your ideas, anything you would like to share. And we will be in touch. Didi Ananda Harimoya, Didi Ananda Prama, Didi Ananda Sanjana were the organizing team this time. And if any of them would like to say anything to the name
Yes.
of the chat. There's somebody asking what is the name of the chat, and it is on Telegram.
Women's Conference.
Women's Conference. It has this logo, the heart.
Namaskar. I just wanted to thank everyone for coming, and it was brilliant. And thank you to everybody who participated, either as listeners or speakers. It was really inspiring. Thank you so much.
I'd like to say something also. Thank you very much. And if there is somebody that has not sent us the email address, please give it to your local Didi in your region, and we will add you to the general list. And please open your videos for a moment so that we can video it also. All of you, many people have not the videos on. I see myself also. Okay. Thank you so much. It was so inspiring. In the moment, there were 66 sisters, and many people have not the videos on. Please put the videos on. More people. Anyway, so it was very wonderful. Thank you very much. Next time will be even more than now. Take care. Thank you.
Namaskar. Thank you. Namaskar to everyone.
Open your microphones and say namaskar.
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 Namaskar. Thank you.
Namaskar to everyone. Namaskar.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Aram Pita Baba
Wonderful.
Very
To see and hear all of you.
Namaskar. Grazie, Lattica.
Namaskar. Namaskar.
She's waiting there.
I'm coming. Just one linguist meeting.
Can I use?
Molto preziosa la tua traduzione, Lattica.
He's waiting in the temple. I will not go to leper market. No.
And thank you to our translators, Latika.
Abbraccio a tutte.
And Tejaswini. Thank you to Tejaswini doing Russian and Latika doing Italian. Thank you so much.
Thank you to the translators. They did a good job. Thank you.
It's a tough job being the translator, so thank you so much. Latika in Italian and Tejaswini in Russian. Thank you.
We